wa Afrika Kusini Jacob Zuma. Kumbuka Jacob Zuma ni miongoni mwa wachezaji mahiri sana wa utamaduni wa Afrika Kusini. Wimbo maarufu ambao aliutumia kuingia hapa unaitwa Bring My Machine Gun. Unaitwa Umushini Wami. Anacheza vizuri sana kwa ngoma zile za Afrika Kusini. Na zamu sasa ya Rais Jacob Zuma. Ni matangazo ya moja kwa moja kutoka katika Ikulu hapa.
Director of the program, Your Excellency President Magufuli, honorable ministers from both countries and government officials, thank you for inviting me to visit this historic and beautiful country, Tanzania, a country we hold in very high regard because of its sterling contribution to the liberation of many countries in our continent, including our own. Allow me, Your Excellency, to begin by extending our condolences once again on the tragic death of school children in a bus crash in Arusha. We join the Tanzanian people in mourning this untimely and painful loss of our children. Your Excellency, this is an important visit for South Africa, given that this year we celebrate the legacy of President Oliver Reginald Tambo. Tanzania played a central role in his life and that of the ANC. The bonds of freedom, of friendship and comradeship were forged when ANC leadership, comrades Oliver Tambo, Nelson Mandela and Joe Matthews met in 1962 here in Dar es Salaam to discuss support to the ANC, including the armed struggle at the time. Tanzania became our wonderful and hospitable home for many decades thereafter, as we fought an evil apartheid regime that perpetuated crimes against humanity. Importantly, many decisive moments in our country and key decisions which changed the course of the ANC, our governing party, and our history for the better were taken here in Tanzania. This makes this country very important indeed in the history of our own country. Your Excellency, I fully concur with you on the outcome of our discussions. We reviewed our bilateral relations, which are historical and fraternal in nature. We have noted with satisfaction the growing bilateral cooperation between our two countries, particularly in defense and security, science and technology, arts and culture, environmental affairs, trade and investment, transport and energy, to mention but a few. We have agreed to pay our particular focus on economic cooperation by encouraging private sector investments, infrastructure development, agro-processing, beneficiation, and joint venture projects. Later this afternoon, we shall address the business forum and urge our business people from both countries to take advantage of the strong historical relations and explore business opportunities. We have used the occasion of this state visit to inaugurate the binational commission between our two countries at the head of state and government level, so that we can both personally supervise the growth of these relations. The BNC will provide the required impetus to our relations by expanding the areas of cooperation to include the political, economic, security, and cultural fields. Added to this, we have directed our ministers and officials to finalize all outstanding agreements and memoranda of understanding. Key in this regard is the need to implement all existing agreements. We are happy with the signing of the agreements and the memoranda of understanding today that will take place on transport and affairs areas. We are also happy with the report of the ministers, which is comprehensive and time-bound. We appreciate more the decision to hold regular consultations, including annual mid-term review meetings. These will go a long way to forging a closer cooperation between our sister countries. We have also correctly agreed to encourage people-to-people relations. In this regard, we noted with satisfaction the current efforts in the implementation of the Arts and Culture Agreement, particularly the African Liberation Route Program, which is aimed at documenting the independence and struggle of the liberation moments. Tanzania, under the leadership of our leader, Mwalimu Nyerere, played a key role in the establishment and running of the Organization of African Unity Liberation Committee, and is indeed the home of our liberation history in Southern Africa. South Africa was honored to bestow one of our highest honors, the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo, on the late General Mbita recently, a great Tanzanian who was a long-serving and dedicated Secretary General of OAU Liberation Committee. Your Excellency, we also exchanged views on the political and security developments in the region and the continent. Tanzania continues to fight for peace in Africa, continuing her earlier contribution to decolonization and the ending of apartheid colonialism in South Africa. We share the concern over the continued political and security challenges in some of our sister countries on the continent. We are happy to work with you as the biggest troop contributors to the UN force in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We have agreed to continue to work together within our regional bodies and the AU to resolve the ongoing peace and security crisis. We also strongly condemn, in the strongest possible terms, all forms of extremism and terrorism wherever they occur. The successful implementation of Agenda 2063 will remain a dream if we do not resolve the security challenges facing the continent. Your Excellency, indeed, it has been a good experience to meet with you and have time to discuss issues that need our attention, but also to remind us where we come from in our relations and what Tanzania has done to its brothers and sisters, particularly in the South. We have heard that benefit. We have areas in this country that we'll never forget. Mazimbu in Morogoro, as well as Dakawa. Yesterday when I arrived, I was being introduced to the officials, party cadres and leaders. And one of them says, he comes from Kinandoni. I said, oh, you prick my memory. So to be here, it is absolutely wonderful. And I always try to think of my little Swahili, which is not there at all. But I love some of the words, ndugu, ndugu zetu. Your Excellency, let me thank you again for the successful deliberations and for the invitation and the hospitality extended to me and my delegation in our second home. I would like to invite you to South Africa to pay a state visit so that we continue our conversation and we deepen our relations. Asante sana. Thank you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Jacob Zuma, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Afrika ya Kusini. Waheshimiwa marais na ndugu viongozi, tumefikia mwisho wa ratiba yetu katika ukumbi huu kwa sasa.